Hey, video on Sunday, the 18th of June, 2023, just gone 4:39 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend and time for another weekend futures market recap where I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Apologies, first of all, for the late video. I had things to do on my Sunday. But hell's bells, what a week. We screamed to the upside in a whole bunch of markets, equities, forex, crude, natural gas. Great week for trading. Hope you did well. It's also nice to see the financial pundits, the gloom and doomers, who are just speechless. They do not know what to say. Oh, this is a bear market rally. It's too late to get long. Don't get long. Wait for the right opportunity to get short. Oh, get short and just gradually add to your positions. Jesus Christ. No, don't do any of that. And it just shows the importance of the charts. Just look at the charts. Forget what everybody says. Look at volume momentum, price breaks, and so on, because it's all in the charts. And this thing is not over until we go a lot higher. And we're up 20% off the lows on the S&P. We're up over 30% off the lows on the NASDAQ. So the best time to buy was back in October. Here it is. Blue professional bars coming at the lows on the E-mini. So we're going to roll through the charts as usual, E-mini daily down to tip bar charts. Then I go through a couple of the daily charts on the forex futures markets, and then we'll go through all of the signals on the 15 tip bar charts for each of the futures markets. Try and make it pretty quick, and we'll start with this daily chart, the E-mini. And we're in an uptrend because we broke a triple, and this was the triple here, and going on and on and on about this. There it is. Triple resistance, all three time frames, SR1, 2, and 3. Super tight together, which is nice. And doesn't matter about this end of trend. That was an area of resistance temporarily on that lowest time frame, but we've broken through that. And because of this pattern, this thing is going to end when we see pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame, followed by pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame, and probably, depending on how far we go, pullback to end of trend on the highest time frame. So it's going to be a question of finding those areas of taking profits on the extensions and then buying back in on the dips. So I don't know when this is going to run. We're towards the end of June at the moment. This is, maybe we're going to line up for something happening in September. September is typically a seasonal weak area for the market, so maybe we're going to have 2 to 3 months of strength. But there's going to be dips along the way. We've got to take our profits as we get these nice extensions. I'm taking profits on my forex long trade, Monday into Tuesday into possibly Wednesday. So let's just see how that plays out. So daily chart, there we go. Triple pattern's got to play itself out. So we've got to be cognizant of that. And that's because it all lined up off these blue professional bars buying in at those lows. So the 135-minute chart, background in red, which means we've got a confirmed uptrend in both price and volume. Yes, this week we had a little bit of trouble with the Rambo patterns here, but I'm always looking for the low of the amateur bars in that sequence to be broken. That shows us, yes, there's a little bit of weakness, and we had that weakness into, I think it was Wednesday, we had this little sell-off move because of the Fed, but the lows of those amateur sequence never got touched, and so never got near that weakness, so it wasn't a reason to get short on a Rambo pattern. You get short on a Rambo pattern when it breaks that low of the amateur sequence. And here we are, 135-minute chart, a little bit of an end of trend gone off here, but we've kept on powering through, and we're above the resistances on these two time frames, so exactly the same thing holds. We've got to go see pullback to end of trend on these higher time frames here. 45-minute charts, yes, look at this. So we had a confluence here, end of trend on the low and the intermediate, but we were just so strong in this market, we just kept on going through. We haven't had exhaustion buy on the upside. This was exhaustion sell on the downside, catching it with a bullish divergence pattern and then a flush pattern. We just kept on going through here. Again, the Rambo pattern, it was the lows of that amateur sequence, never got taken out. We kept on going. Blue professional bars coming at the highs, no exhaustion pattern yet on the 45-minute chart. And then 15 starting to find a little bit more trouble here. So we've got the whole family of little end of trends. Blue professional bar up here. This was the jiggery pokery that we had around the Fed, and then the blue professional bar stepped in and bought that weakness, and bang, powered up higher. We had a nice stair step up on better pro-am, trailing the stop up. The solid yellow lines, I remind everybody, that is the beginning and the end of the week. So we've had 2, 3 really nice strong weeks in a row. And then the tip bar charts here, beginning and the end of the week. There's the Fed activity, a whole bunch of amateur bars typically around the Fed announcement. That's not unusual to see low average trade size and huge volatility backwards and forwards, but then we powered on. Now we have had exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, blue professional bars come in here and here, but I suspect, although we're starting to show some signs of weakness on the 13,500 tip bar chart and so triple signals going off, that we're going to have to go pull back to end of trend and blue professional bars at the highs, not here at the lows, before we have any significant weakness here. So they're coming on the lows and the lows here. I'd like to see the exhaustion buy on the highs and the blue professional bars on the highs before this is over. So there we go, the E-mini daily charts all the way down to the tip bar charts. Let me just show you some of the longer time frame charts here. I call these daily charts, but they're not really. They're 3 bars per day session. And I'm going to remind you of the British pound chart that showed you a couple of weeks ago. We're in an uptrend on the British pound after this huge sell-off, almost down to parity versus US dollar. Blue professional bars step in, exhaustion sell down here. I said this was the pattern that was really curious a couple of weeks ago, where we had blue professional bars almost U-turning it here, and we were in an uptrend. We would expect the blue professional bars to come in like this on the weakness, and then we power on. But it didn't. It did this, which was strange. The professionals forced it down here to 24, then picked it up, and then bang, we powered on. Because the stair step in Better Pro-Am gold at that point, we have a strong move in British pounds. It's actually been one of the strongest of the currencies. So that was interesting. On the euro, we've actually triggered on the longer time frame charts into another triple signal because we've got exhaustion sell, bullish divergence. We're oversold with the background in red here on price with better sine wave. We're still in an uptrend because the last blue professional bars that we saw here were into that low at 6.5 at that point. We've tested back into that area and forced us into another triple signal here. I said 108 was really critical on the euro this week or the last couple of weeks, and we broke through that solidly and kept on going. We were at upper 10s, which is a strong move in euro. So that's euro. Aussie dollar, also a similar type thing. A whole bunch of oversold patterns going on over the last couple of months, trying to find this low. Blue professional bars come in here. We shake everybody out at 65, where we break through that and immediately come back up. And now we're into an uptrend, more triple signals going on here. We're looking at 69 at the moment, and let's see 70 if we can get back up to that on the Aussie. So that's those now 10-year. I also talked about this in the last video, or a couple of videos ago, when we had all of these blue professional bars coming in here, and I said we're going to test the ranges. We went up to the highs of those blue professional bars, test the ranges with all of these tests, bang, bang, bang. They all failed. We come back down. We're going to test the low of that range, exactly what we did. Come back here, test the lows. Blue professional bars have stepped in. We're oversold, blue professional bars. The last patterns that we had in terms of momentum were volume momentum buying. We haven't had exhaustion selling down here. So this isn't going to signal into a triple because of that, but we're going to wait and see. I think we're just going to fuss around and test the range a little bit until we decide which way to go. But that's held the bottom down here. So bonds rallying, therefore rates potentially coming off. I think in general people are quite confused about what the Fed's going to do next and when. So it's interesting. And then crude, same thing. We've been talking about this super important pattern down here with all these blue professional bars coming out at 65. We came back into test. We had the flash crash day. Blue professional bars step in and buy it. We have not gone anywhere. We've been caught in this range trying to get through 75 and failing every time. But this week came off pretty hard and come back up to 71, 72. So let's see if we can crack on through in crude and natural gas. The $2 level down here has been everybody's nemesis, but it held this week. And blue professional bars step in there at 220, and we've had a triple signal on this longer time frame chart. So that's just applying the better indicators with the triple signals on these longer time frame charts. Let's look at the tip bar charts now. So first of all, with the currencies, starting with the euro here, we've had a super strong 2 or 3 weeks. We broke up through 8s last week and held here with this little bit of weakness. The blue professional bars step in, and then this week, bang, it took off after the Fed announcement. We're up at 10s on the euro, which is extraordinary. No exhaustion buy, no bearish divergence, no blue professional bars on the highs. Behind that dip there, let's see what the euro does. I'm looking to take profits on my long trade though in the first couple of days of this week. It's been a good trade, so just waiting for the next signal. British pound, same thing, has been super strong the last couple of weeks. Bang, bang, bang. Some blue professional bars up here. No exhaustion buy. Those exhaustion buys were getting the move going. So that's British pound. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar up here, 69s, which is great. Blue professional bars at the lows here on that weakness. The blue professional bars come in, we power ahead. Some blue professional bars here, no exhaustion buy. The last ones we had were exhaustion sell, holding us at this point, bang. So that's the Aussie dollar. Japanese yen's been the opposite story. We had signals last week and this week. Signals short, beginning of the week. And this was a nice stair-step trade. That wasn't an obvious signal short there. We had exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. We didn't have blue professional bars at that point there, but this one was nice. When we came back in to test, the blue professional bars step in, bang, sell it down super hard, and that's why we've kept going on the other side. However, down here, we are lining up for a signal. So the triple signals, 3 non-correlated indicators, exhaustion sell, and bullish divergence come in. That's volume momentum. Number 2, we're oversold. The background is in red, meaning price is oversold on better sine wave. And the blue professional bars step in as we're coming down. And when we get the break above the trailing stop that trails the blue professional bars down, that'll give us a triple signal. So it could be interesting for a long signal in Japanese yen. So as I said on the E-mini, we're starting to find signals up here, but they're not classics. We didn't have blue professional bars at the highs here. We had triple signals, no blue professional bars at the highs. I think we're still going to press higher into 4,500 and a bit before we get blue professional bars coming at the highs and taking profits and having a proper signal short. 10-year notes cannot decide which way to go. We had signals short at the beginning of the week. We had signals long midweek. Now we've got signals short at the moment. Let's wait and see those blue professional bars. That is looking like a stair step coming down, the first signal after a break. So let's see if we start to break the lows of this sequence that'll keep us coming down. We do have exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. So that's interesting. That'd be short 10-year temporarily, which means some strength in rates. I'm not sure. Watch that. So metals, gold signaled nicely this week. That was a bit of a spurious signal because we didn't have exhaustion sell at that point. This triple signal is signaling off the last exhaustion sell down here, which wasn't a classic, but this one down here was better. When we lurched down to 1940, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, blue professional bars step in, and then they were anxious to buy that here. All these blue professional bars buying this breakout move, exhaustion buy, getting the move going. Gold is looking strong. Silver, same thing this week. There's that exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, blue professional bars. They buy the dip. Blue professional bars step in here. So this exhaustion sell is getting the move going. So we're strong. Silver at the moment. Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin had a nice signal this week. Yep. Stair step down, 25,000. Blue professional bars step in, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, U-turn, bang, they grab it, we get a signal, and this is anxiously buying it up at 26,000, almost continuing the move off this lows. That's like a big U-turn pattern here. So all of those are strong. Crude. Last week I was looking at this sell-off and saying at the end of the week, are we going to test that level? Blue professional bars come in to hold it. Well, they didn't hold it at 69. They came back down to 68, which was the previous week's low down here where we had signals. And then the blue professional bars step in. Not a lot of them down here, just is that 1 bar, maybe 2 down here at the lows. But then on the test, more blue professional bars stepping in here. We get our triple signal long on crude. No, 1 blue professional bar coming at the highs here, exhaustion buy. I think this is exhaustion buy getting the move going, but let's wait and see. We need to prove this, get through 72s in a bit, show that that bottom is a good bottom. We're going to rally in crude. Natural gas. Last week I was saying that natural gas was in the doldrums, being June, middle of the year. No one's interested. We have had these breaks, long, short, and long again this week, and this one really took off. But it was followed by a nice family of blue professional bars stepping in here. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, oversold. We break better pro-am trailing stop, and then this thing bang takes off. Exhaustion buy, getting the move going, taken off to the upside. No exhaustion buy ending this move yet in crude, but that's been a really strong move from $2.20 to $2.65 this week in sorry, did I say crude? I meant natural gas. And then copper. Copper not really doing much. We had signals short this week, did not work out. We traded a little bit higher this week to 390. So it's not very interesting there. Ags, similarly, not very interesting at the moment. No signals last week. We got soybeans. We had a signal short this last week, but didn't play out. So we're continuing higher in soybeans and wheat. Again, similar to soybeans. Nicer looking with exhaustion by bearish divergence, blue professional bars, but did not crack, did not go anywhere. And we've glitched up to a higher level on wheat. But there's enough going on in the other markets not to be touching these less traded markets at the moment. So there we go. Cracker of a week. Hope you traded it well. And I'm looking forward to next week's trade. Remember, we've got a quiet day on Monday. I think Globex is shut with Juneteenth. So it won't be until Tuesday where the volume really starts to pick up. Anyway, hope your trading is going well.